going? What you see here is a collection of a bunch of different stove setups. I've been trying to put together my canister stove setup for quite a while, and I ended up with 4 stoves. I've got this little BRS here is what I started out with for about 25 bucks. And then backpackinglight.com recommended the Fire Maple Wasp, which I've got right here, with the Flat Cat Gear Ocelot windscreen on it. And then I kind of went up to the Soto Windmaster, but the Soto Windmaster doesn't have an Ocelot. Flat Cat Gear opted to not make a Ocelot windscreen for the Windmaster. They opted to make one for the MSR Pocketrocket Deluxe. Now, I was able to get both of these stoves for about $10. The way that I did that was I had a $50 gift certificate to Amazon that I got at work, and that brought the price of the Soto Windmaster down to about 15 bucks. With the MSR Pocketrocket Deluxe, I had a Z-Light in my room that I wasn't using. I got 50 bucks for it at REI, plus I had about $20 of REI dividends, and this thing was 5 bucks off at REI, so I got this for about $10. All right, and I ended up with 4 stoves. Now, as far as the the Pocketrocket Deluxe and the Soto Windmaster looking similar, of course they do, and you can see that right here. They're very similar. The Soto Windmaster is titanium, and the specs say that it's less than an ounce. It's only 1 ounce, but that's not including the pot stand. So this pot stand alone is about an ounce, but you can see that the stove itself is about an ounce, but you can see that the pot stand is also about an ounce. The MSR Pocketrocket Deluxe is about 3 ounces, so there's only a 1 ounce weight penalty really when you switch to the MSR Pocketrocket. What you get for that extra ounce is quite a bit of extra hardware. When you hold them up side by side, the Soto is obviously a lot more sleek. It's all titanium, whereas with the Pocketrocket, the pot stand is on there. It kind of has this action to it where it twists and turns. You also have kind of just a lot of different materials, different types of alloy, tin, aluminum, etc. And the piezo igniter has got this switch on it, like that, and it's got kind of a beefy turning ring. Like this controller is pretty big. All right. Now, as far as the Ocelot fitting onto the Pocketrocket Deluxe, it looks just like this, and it fits on. Let's see, just like that. Whoa. All right, so there it is with its windscreen. Now, when you talk about the Soto Windmaster, it obviously implies that the wind isn't going to blow this flame out. And basically what it's got is it's got this salad bowl kind of shape on the top where the flame is depressed down in there and the wind supposedly blows over this thing but not against the flame. Now, my experience is that boiling water with the BRS stove or with the Soto or the Fire Maple is all the same. This design right here, it isn't really effective in the field. That's my opinion. It boils water exactly the same as everything else. And when you add the windscreen to it, that also is not necessarily going to allow it to boil water in the wind. What it does is, you know, the big difference between the BRS and the Fire Maple and these other stoves is that these stoves direct the heat straight up at the bottom of the pot. Whereas with these smaller stoves, heat can escape down. Okay, there's really nothing around here to force the flame up at the pot. So with the Ocelot windscreen, you've got this bottom plate which helps to push the flame up at the bottom of the pot, and then the windscreen actually holds the heat in to the bottom of the pot. Now when you pair that with a Caldera cone, you really start to trap the heat in. So if I put this on just like that, now I've got the little Evernew 500 mug pot, the coffee cup, and I've got a Caldera cone around it held on with a rubber band. The rubber band prevents my fingers from burning, and I've got that on top of the Ocelot windscreen. Now what's happening is the heat will get pushed up against the bottom of the pot, it'll get trapped in, it won't be able to escape, the heat will collect around the sides of the pot, and the inside of the windscreen will basically turn into like an oven, okay? Now, if I were cold soaking food, if I already had some food cooked in here, some rice or something, and I wanted to cook it without burning it to the bottom of the pot, then I would take this simmer ring from Flat Cat Gear, this is a baking ring, and just drop it on top like this, okay? Now what's taking place is, all right, the heat from the flame is being directed directly at the simmer ring, and there's a little bit of space in between the simmering and the bottom of the pot. So now I've got heat, like hot air, being collected all the way around the pot and under it. So there is no spot at where the flame is directly touching the food. There's hot air surrounding the food. So I've got my rice or something cold soaking in here, drop it on the simmer ring. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, now at this point, I've got hot air collecting underneath the pot. I've got hot air collecting around the pot, so that every side of the pot is surrounded by hot air with the exception of the top. Okay, and that's how I could heat up my food after cold soaking it without burning it. All right. Now, for maximum fuel efficiency, you want to turn the gas down to about halfway or less. So if I light this up, let's see. Okay. All right. If I turn this down, yeah, if I turn this down to about 25%, it doesn't make any sound at all. And once you put this whole entire system, the whole entire, let me turn this out. Once you put all of this extra titanium all around the flame, you know, you're creating like an oven, okay? And you should be able to boil water in 5 minutes, 15 times at least, okay? If you have this whole entire setup with the Caldera cone and the windscreen. So